when I think of Bobby Hurley, I don't think of Bobby Hurley and his dominance in the state of New Jersey, anything like that. I think of St. Anthony's and their
The
dominance.
team.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
think of St. Anthony's in the system. Like that was the system. That's Bobby Hurley Sr. He is the head of the Snake Paws, and I can't recall a person who got to really boogie at St. Anthony's with the offensive game and just show their talents fully, and and not be able to kind of work in and out of the system that's presented. You have to play within that system. You know what I mean? I could be wrong. Somebody can say, yeah, when this guy.
Tony Tate might have been
All
one.
right.
Elijah
So,
Ingram,
and
maybe.
we talk about towards, a little bit later in the, so during,
Mhm.
peak St. Anthony's and things like that, like, when Bobby Hurley was there, like, Bobby, you ain't gonna pull out no highlight tapes of Bobby and say, oh my God, you know what I mean? He out here giving them everything they want. It ain't gonna look like that. It ain't gonna look like Shy. It ain't gonna look like Jason Williams. It ain't gonna look like Briscoe. It ain't gonna look like some of these people who had dynamic offensive games. You know what I mean? Now, granted, it was a different era and things like that, but still, so, but with that being said, I don't fault anybody who put Bobby Hurley in there because he was a winner. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he was a winner. And he took that to college, and he got to the league. If he had that accident, who knows? Because you talk about when the Dream Team played those college All-Stars and he was a part of it, they said that he's dominating that game that they won. You know what I mean? Like, he just was able to manipulate and run stuff, and so he was always a good player. But again, that was the Bobby Hurley part to me, and why I wouldn't even have put him in, which is why I just don't even put him in my argument.